It's Cage Talk. Buck and Dex here.
And Nick.
And Nick. I got to get used to that, don't I?
Yeah, we got that third person, man.
Yeah, man. We're not used to that. We're doing it, man. We got the fighters hanging out in the studio.
This week we're going to be talking about Fight Night 8. It's going to be on Spike TV. And joining us in the studio right now is Rashad Evans, along with surprise guest. We didn't know this guy was going to show up, Jason MacDonald. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys. Doing?
We're good, man. This is our first installment of this internet broadcast, and we're really excited to have you guys on. We've already talked to Dean Lister today, as well as Nate Marquardt, so we've got a good little lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be a good card coming into this next fight night. I get to headline it, so hopefully I'll put on a good show.
Yeah, man,
I will put on a good show.
There you go. Yeah, you look good in the poster there, Rashad. You look
hey,
great,
you know,
man.
and no push-ups before the picture either. That's all natural.
And he's got a new haircut.
No spray bottle, no misting before the pictures?
No misting, nothing. That's all natural right there.
Right on, man.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing to get ready for it. Just some basics about your training and what you've been doing getting ready.
I started my training camp early, helping Keith get ready for his fight against Forrest. And I just been going ever since, maybe took like a week off, had an easy week when the holidays came around. But just been, working on my stand-up and my ground game as usual, just trying to become that well-rounded fighter.
That sounds good.
We were actually going to try to get Sean Salmon on the phone, but we couldn't get a hold of his phone number. We were going to throw you guys on at the same time and see if he talked any smack to you.
I was hoping he would, man. I was hoping he would. I mean, he has like a little blog page, and I guess he was talking about, he's not going to go and lay down and stuff like that. And I don't expect him to, but, I mean, it's going to be a wrap once I get in the cage with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got something to prove. He's coming in. This is his first UFC fight. Where's he fought before? Do you know?
I think he fought in a few King of the Cage events.
Did he?
I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, he's got something to prove in here. I mean, it's this is all going to be him getting in there trying to make his name for himself by taking out the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I hate being put in that position, but, I mean, he has nothing to lose, but I don't,
And you have everything to lose to this guy, seriously.
But it's also a great position to be in. I mean, that's what you worked really hard to get to. You know? So it's it's a little bit of pressure, but it's also, I mean, it's an honor. It's cool. It's a good spot.
Is. I mean, he he's never fought on a big show before, so I know he's going to be nervous going into it and being the main event of that night. So he has all that added pressure. I've been there before.
Do you think that makes him more dangerous?
I think it makes him more dangerous because he really has nothing to lose. But then at the same time, he's never been in a situation before. He's never been on a big show, so he might get stage fright. Sometimes people just get stage fright.
Well, you think he's fought anybody of Rashad's
caliber?
Quality? Yeah.
I don't think so. I
haven't
even looked the guy up, but I've never heard of him, and I'm pretty well versed on MMA, so I've never heard of the guy.
So it's a double-edged sword. He's going into the big show and he's fighting a badass. So
yeah.
Wow.
I was wondering. Reality TV, cameras in your face. Does that make a big difference? Because I'm pretty nervous having the camera stuck in my face right now. I'm kind of freaking out right now.
Dex, you know what? I'll tell you what. Dex freaks out anytime anybody's in the studio besides me.
If there's more than 3 people, I start getting a little crazy. But was it like that when you were shooting the reality show?
It was like that for about 3 or 4 days, and then after you put your body through a lot of trials and stuff like that, and you're really tired. You just
it just doesn't matter.
You don't even care that they're anymore. And I mean. You weren't allowed to acknowledge that the camera's there, so you couldn't even look at the cameraman or anything like that. So,
right.
But I mean, after a while, they just went away.
Right. We're talking to Rashad Evans and Jason MacDonald right now on Cage Talk. Nick?
Yeah, so clearly you've established yourself as a very well-rounded fighter. You fought a bunch of good strikers, a bunch of good ground fighters. But what have you been doing to work on your stand-up? You have a great wrestling background. You did it in college. What have you been doing to work on your stand-up and keeping that on point and getting better at it? And who have you been working with?
I've been working with Mike Winklejohn and my boxing trainer back home, Joaquin Rodriguez. And basically, it's just about getting to the point where I feel comfortable enough to do what I already know how to do.
Right.
I mean, whenever you get in a fight, there's a tendency to go to your comfort zone. The area where you feel, I'm not gonna get beat in this area. And sometimes it just takes a bit of risk just to stand up there and just do what you do in practice and do it well. And I think that's what I'm getting used to more than anything, is just getting to the point where I'm just like, it's whatever. I know this. I'm just getting confident in my stand up.
Right.
That's good. That's great.
I mean, you being we're broadcasting live out of Albuquerque right now, and you getting to Albuquerque is kind of a unique story because I was talking to Johnny Madrid, who's one of Keith's. I guess he's like an agent or a manager or something like that. But the way you got down here was kind of a neat story because you guys were on the show together. and then you beat Keith in the semifinals, and then the next thing you know, you're in Albuquerque, and everybody thought you were a dick now because you beat Keith Jardine, the guy from Albuquerque. But then you ended up down here. How did you end up down here? What happened?
All the while on the show, Keith, he worked with me and stuff. He had showed me things, and he was like, "Yo, Rashad, you got to come out to Albuquerque," and he kept saying it, and I was like, "Ah, yeah, okay, whatever." But then he called me one day, and then I was just like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna take him up on that." And I came down here, and just the people of Albuquerque was so cool, and Greg Jackson was so cool, and all the teammates. It was just a perfect fit, and I was just like, this is where I need to be, because it was people who really, really genuinely wanted to see me, do good.
Yeah,
Right.
Turning into a good camp. We've got a lot of people coming out like that. Where do you live out of and train out of normally?
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Lansing, baby. Go Spartans.
Go Spartans.
That's my college team, man.
Oh, is it?
I got a ton of people that went up to Lansing, so
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I support the Lobos, too, here in Albuquerque, but, they never do anything worth a crap, so, sometimes you have to have a winning team, so I'll latch onto the Spartans sometime.
I got one more question. I'm actually curious. You hear a lot of people. Everybody gets a different start in MMA. Doing stand up or whatever. But a lot of the people, that have the hardcore college wrestling background have tended to do very, very well. You got Dan Severn. You got Ken Shamrock did a lot of. Whatever. He did a lot of
Way back when.
Randy Couture, all those guys. So how do you feel that really plays into your game plan now and just your success in general as an MMA fighter?
It helps out in so many different ways. One, just on the competitive level.
Right, yeah.
You get used to just competing so much, and you just get that helps when you have to fight. Because you learn a way to compete. And another way it helps out is just with the fighting. When you are a wrestler, you have great control and great awareness of what when somebody grabs you or whatnot. So, it helps me out a lot, man. It's always something I can fall back on, and I know it's going to be there.
Absolutely. Did your conditioning change a lot going from wrestling to MMA? Did your process for getting ready for a fight and stuff, or do you feel like you just kept your basic conditioning regimen from wrestling?
It has changed a lot, because in wrestling it's 7 minutes. That's it. 7 minutes. You can go hard as you want to in that 7 minutes. But in mixed martial arts, it's 15. And with that, you
and hopefully soon 25.
Yeah, soon 25, hopefully. But you learn to win the sprint and the difference. When I say sprint, like when you're gonna go, 100% or not, and that's different than in wrestling. You know what I mean? You're gonna learn where you can catch your breath. So it's just a little bit of different calibration as far as
Right. So the mentality is different. In MMA, you're saying you need to more calculate when you're going to let it go.
Right.
And you're saying in wrestling, this is what I'm hearing. In wrestling, you got to calculate when you can rest and take another breath and kind of be a little more conservative with
Exactly. And that's what earned me a lot of criticism as far as, going to decisions and things like that, because I'm a competitor and I'm a wrestler, and it's just in me to just find a way to win. And sometimes just finding a way to win is just not the most exciting thing. People want to see you go out there and really take a chance.
Yeah, man, but sometimes you make it look good, like when you were throwing Stephan Bonner on his ass for 3 rounds, that looked good.
Yeah.
It did look good.
It does look good
seriously,
sometimes.
you make it look good, so I guess that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's great.
If you're just joining us right now, you're on Cage Talk. We're talking with Rashad Evans, Jason MacDonald, and this is our first episode, I don't know what we would call this, our first show.
I don't know.
So,
Our first podcast.
This is it. Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be good. Jason, what's up, man? You're not a stepping stone. I heard that twice come out of your mouth.
Hey, well,
Clearly not.
maybe people start to believe it now.
You know
I
what,
think
man?
so.
After I saw your first fight, I was like, you know what? This guy's the real deal. I swear to God, I was walking through the hotel in Vegas, and people were talking about we're talking to folks about the fight, and they're like, oh, leaving this, leaving that. I was like, you know what? Smart money's on Jason MacDonald. And then after that fight, you said it again, man. I'm not going to be anybody's stepping stone in this deal.
Well, I came through the small shows, and I've fought a lot of tough customers.
Yeah.
I've fought a lot of UFC vets. So when I finally got to the UFC, I knew I belonged there.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing was, there was a lot of people, a lot of that aren't hardcore fans that maybe didn't know who I was, but.
Right.
I knew, and the hardcore fans knew that I belonged there.
A lot of what people don't realize in MMA is that it's a huge world. It's not just UFC.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wars and a lot of hardcore fights that go down that people just don't see.
Yeah,
You know,
for
and
sure.
you're clearly obviously a veteran of those fights. So.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
took the long way into the UFC. I fought 25 pro fights before I made it.